What's going on, everybody? It's been a while since I've done one of these hot mics, so we're going to start with the fourth one. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to be addressing and talking about, and as people come on to the chat, we're going to be having a conversation. Just got the LG A1 in. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of questions about that as we get further on in the year, as Black Friday starts to come about. You can refer people asking questions about it to this video because most of them will probably be answered here. In the short time I've spent with this thing, I can tell you I'm not going to waste too much time on it because it's definitely a downgrade from the B10. The B10 being cheaper, you're definitely able to get a better deal than what LG is offering on the A1. I don't understand who the A1 is for, but it just kind of seems like it's a product that they made to, I don't know, spit in the face of people who are maybe on a budget or something like that. But it doesn't come off positively at all, in my opinion, based off of what I've seen. That's not to say that they don't do good things right. I will be covering it in my final review, which honestly I should have up pretty soon. Not today, but probably sometime early next week or something like that. It's not a hard TV to review really fast. I mean, there's not a lot to cover really. But that being said, we do have a couple people into the chat. So what's going on, Kid Smoke 23? You said, we in here, bro. Most definitely. You said, we love your live stream and I'm glad to have you guys here. Joshua, what's going on? You said live stream. Yep. We're finally doing one of these again. It's been so long. I usually just forget, honestly. I always have a reminder on my phone to just let me know when I'm supposed to be doing them. I haven't done them in such a long time, either from health reasons, living life, or whatever the case may be. And, you know, now that I'm feeling better and hanging out, I think it's time we start having these conversations again. And I think it's important also that we kind of address a lot of the misinformation we've been seeing online. I mean, they've been running amok lately, and I kind of get a little annoyed with it, to say the least. So I figured now's the time. But as usual, if you have questions, now is definitely the time to answer it. It's kind of like your hot mic to say and ask whatever you want, and we just kind of go that way. Now we've got Koji. You say, are you buying more TVs? Well, that's a bit of a loaded question considering this is a tech channel. So I would imagine, yes, I will be buying more TVs. I don't have any intention on stopping or giving up on making sure that there's integrity. So, yeah, it will keep on going. What's going on, Brian? You said, at work, finally got my C1 set up. Now I just want to go home and sit in my basement. I don't blame you, man. I've had those moments where I get a new product and I'm just like, I gotta have my jam. I gotta chill, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I definitely feel you on that. We've got Joshua. You said, bought a U8G based on your recommendations. Thanks. Most definitely. I mean, it's a great TV. I can't deny it, man. Out of everything that I've seen at the LED level, I mean, there's just no denying that Hisense delivered with that TV. I mean, it's similar to what we had with the H9G, but not so much so that you can call them twins, you know what I mean? HDMI 2.1 and all the other features, the improved black levels, they did a lot right. So yeah, definitely, I recommend it 100%. I'm glad you enjoy it. Daryl, what's going on, man? You said hello? Hello right back, bro. What's going on? Jack Frost, what's up? You said U8G or C1, is it worth the extra $1,000? That's a bit of a loaded question. It depends on your usage. So you can never just flat out say yes to one thing because you can open yourself up to, well, what if you use it for PC? What if you're mostly a movie watcher, mostly sports? What if you're afraid of burn-in? I really don't know how you're using it, so just clarify a little bit more and I'll be able to help you out. Daler1, what's going on? You said, hello, bro. Can you help me with game picture settings on the X900H? I don't have anything new for the X900H, but everything that I do have is exclusive to the members, so you can join and snag those X900H settings, and that should help you get most of what you're looking for, if not everything you're looking for there. Manic, what's going on? You said, Mr. Quantum, what do you think about dual cell? Dual cell as in Hisense's dual cell? I mean, because everybody has like their dual LED technology these days, so which variation of that are we talking about? What's going on, Peter? You said just ordered the my U8G. It's coming Monday morning. Could not be more excited. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty darn exciting TV. I'm actually looking at it. I have it placed off to the floor, and I've got the table kind of covered with the A1 right now. But yeah, no, it's a damn strong TV. It really is. Price range $2,000. I mean, it really depends. Again, a lot of this stuff is really going to depend on how you use the TV. Anthony, what's going on? You said, Uda, what's going on, man? We got David. What's up? You said, what causes cable box DirecTV content some programs to skip? I guess Jutter, if it cuts out, picture clarity stops, but there's no picture, or picture is not as clear as the QN90A. I think, honestly, the first thing you do if you're having picture dropout issues is to check the cables. That usually fixes a lot of those issues. You can always try resetting all your devices, and if all else fails, you can always try to contact your service provider to see if they can do something for you. The service providers usually have more troubleshooting methods for your specific situation, so be the best route I would go. Guts, what's up? You said, do you have any monitor recommendations? Sure. For monitors, it's really simple. What I like to do is I start off with, you have to have a wide color gamut, usually QLED in my case. I don't do OLED for monitors because I don't want, you know, static content from web browsers or anything like that, you know, as you're surfing the web to just sit up there. I like, again, having that wide color gamut. So usually for me, it is almost immediately going to be a Samsung because they're basically one of the only ones with quantum dots that are still remotely reasonable price-wise. Everybody else is charging entirely way too much. I mean, they're charging like over $3,000 in some cases for the better quantum dot TVs, and I seriously just am over the price gouging. So yeah, I would start looking at some Samsungs. Start with 4K, then assess how important HDR is to you. It was not a factor for me. I hate the HDR technology. I really think it's a scam at this point. They do a lot wrong. I can go into it, but it would just be ranting at this point. Essentially, I would just go with a really solid quantum dot monitor that has the resolution and refresh rates you're looking for. What's going on? Daler, you said, thank you for answering. Sure thing, man, anytime. Timothy, what's going on? You said, what's the best TV for PS5 plus all-day gaming and watching TV? I'll probably cover the best gaming TV in a different video, just because there's a lot of ground to cover it with that one question there. We've got Kid, you said, sorry, price range $2,000, best TV. Was looking for your, was looking into the C1, but I want your advice. I mean, it's hard because if you're just gaming, I don't know, it really depends, because how long are you gaming? I mean, for me personally, if I'm somebody that, this is, let's just throw a hypothetical out there, my only TV, have no intention on buying another one. I'm so going to it's rough because I'm not a personality type that chooses. I usually just buy multiples of what I need or want. Even if I've got to save up to do it, I really don't care. I don't like choosing. I hate ultimatums almost more than anything. And so, you know, probably the worst person to ask, you know, for the $2,000 price range, what would you pick? I would pick whatever's best for how I use it. Like, for example, for me and my usage, I'm a casual gamer that likes to game offline. I don't know when or how it started, but everybody got infatuated with online, VRR, 120 hertz. I don't care about none of that. You give me a nice storytelling game like Uncharted 4, you give it to me at like 1440p, at like 60 FPS, I'm good with that, outside of game mode with soap opera effect. That's my style of gaming, though. It's a slow-paced game, I take it my own way, and there's nothing really responsive about it. But the next gamer may be entirely different. They might only play Call of Duty or, like, strategic war games or I don't know, something that requires, I would imagine, some serious input lag requirements. Not that strategy games really require that at all, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it really depends on the type of gamer. Like, when you say, like, you game, I hate to do this to you, but you've got to be very specific, because the slightest little change will determine like one or the other. So I can't make a full recommendation until I know like literally everything about how you game. Alright, so using your theater settings, will there be Dolby Vision settings in the members section for the UHG? And to be honest with you, I started working on some settings and I have some stuff pretty buttoned up for it. But to be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with the Dolby Vision performance. It never really jumped out at me and said, hey, this is the next level. So, I don't know. It's still going to need some polishing. I'll do what I can. It's just, I don't find HDR to be particularly appealing, even when it does things right, like hit good highlights or have deep black levels. There's just the depth aspect that I look for, and colors to make sense 100%, like all around. And I find the white balance to be a particular nuisance on the U8G and a lot of areas. I think that's one thing that it could have improved upon, but it's just, you've really got to work to get like HDR where it needs to be, and HDR not having an industry standard at all, making it impossible to calibrate to one, is not doing me any favors at all. Because with this like picture quality thing, it's kind of like pick your poison. Everybody's going to come up with a different answer, so I don't know. It's one of those things where I may post them, I may not. It really does depend on if I can get them where I need to be, like to the quality level that you're accustomed to, that I'm accustomed to seeing out of my settings. Then I'll post them. But if I can't get it to that tier that I would put my name on it on, then there's no way I would put them up. So that's just what I'll say for that. What's going on, Brian? You said Apple TV C1 and Martin 712 said Apple TV won't go into Dolby Vision. Stay in HDR using 8K HDMI. You said any idea what to check to get AV into Dolby Vision? Honestly, no. I don't use Apple products. I mean, and I don't even use receivers or any of that stuff. I literally just let my soundbar, my Sony Z9F soundbar, do everything from pass-through to the audio, and I've been happy with the results. But I'm in a smaller environment here, so I don't really have to spread it across a giant living space, and really I hate wires and all that stuff, but I beats me. I mean, I don't know. When it comes to troubleshooting, there could be any number of things. Maybe your 8K HDMI cable isn't playing right with your player. It could be something maybe de-optimized in your AVR. It could be something with Apple TV specifically, or maybe a handshaking issue between specific devices. Like, when it comes to troubleshooting, I've seen so many crazy things that it's just like, you really can't nail down one specific cause. You got to try everything. So I would first start with trying everything, and if that doesn't work, I mean, reach out, see if somebody has run into something similar, because it's really hard to kind of just nail it down from that alone, you know what I'm saying?
Batman wins.
Right, when you doing merch? I've been asked about doing merch for a while. I don't really do merch because, believe it or not, I'm not the most tech savvy with setting up a Teespring. It's not really my thing. And honestly, how many people in the world would walk around with like a Quantum TV shirt? Probably not many. So then I'd have to start graphic designing shirts, and then I'd have to create something that's appealing to the audience, and that's more work for me. I've got my hands filled with trying to find engaging content. I mean, anybody can put a mug on a shirt or like brand it and, you know, make it say Quantum TV or something, but I don't know, if I ever did a shirt, it would have to be something like I would wear out in public, you know what I mean? And people will be like, oh, that's a dope shirt, where'd you get it? I actually made it. Like, it'd have to be something like that, you know? So that's kind of one of the things that go along with me not making merchandise. I don't know. Sometimes I find it cheesy. I don't know. It's just not really my thing. What's going on? Kid Smoke, you said, thank you so much. You said, thank you so much. Great. You said, legit what you said about being yourself in the same way. So for your style of game, what TV would you want to game on? Now you're asking good questions. So for my style of gaming, I would almost immediately, people are going to be like shocked Pikachu faced by this, but I would almost immediately, for my style of gaming, start with either a Sony OLED or an older Sony OLED, not a newer one, or a QLED of some type. And I've got my eye on the U8G as probably being one of the ones that I would go for. I already have a Samsung Q8FN, so you know what I mean? Like, newer Samsung is garbage. I can't really do anything with them. I actually really liked Samsung back in the day when they were doing their thing, but now they're just lazy. So, yeah, I would probably start with a Sony OLED. Now, here's why, though, because I say that and it's going to sound like complete and total rubbish, but the reason why is because I'm a calibrator, at least at heart, because I don't do it anymore as a profession. I only do the photography, the videography, cinematography, like color grading type stuff now, and it's just kind of like, okay, but like, I like having access to my color spaces, DCI-P3, Rec 709, a Dolby RGB, and I like the ability to force HDR to be as creative as I want, and to basically create the look that I'm looking for. So it would have to be a Sony because they give me the most control. And if it's not Sony, then it would have to be something like a Hisense that right there with the control aspect. Though Hisense does have some loose ends as far as giving me as much control as I would have on a Sony when I'm talking about like freedom of forcing HDR on SDR content. I can't do that on Hisense, at least not on the UAG or something like that. So, you know, there are variables, and not to make it ranty, but that's basically how I would start. And that's why my daily TV, my everyday TV, is a 65-inch Sony A8G Bravia OLED. I love this thing, and I'm actually. You guys see the side panel with the text and the Batman and all that. All this is going on in real time. And I don't have anything off on the screen. I've been doing this like since the beginning of me doing live streams. So I think that's something also to consider. I think it does an incredible job with taking abuse. Not that the newer OLEDs could probably do that or couldn't. I don't know, but I'm just saying I enjoy my experience with it. So that's what I'll say there. We've got, Chin, what's going on, man? You said, love your live streams. Miss your live streams? Yeah, it's been a while. I've been away for quite a while in the live stream world. What's going on, Joss? You said, let's go. QN98, I hear you. Favorite TV in 2021? Well, I can't really say that right now. It's still early. All the stuff that I am aware of is going to be launching late summer, early fall. So we're going to see a lot of stuff happening around that time period. And I think it would be pretty irresponsible to tell you the best right about now. It's not going to happen just yet. Now, I'll probably slap together a video and maybe guide you down the path of something better right now. But I don't know. I can't really pick one right now, if I'm being honest, like an absolute best. I mean, because right now, for LED, all day, every day is the Hisense UAG. There isn't a single LED I've tested that has come close to it. For OLED, that's where I'm getting pissy. Not gonna lie, I'm getting pretty upset because I'm noticing they're not trying. And I was better off with my A8G and in a lot of areas with you know, detail that I saw during the comparisons I shot. And I was so let down, dude. You guys have no idea. Like, people think I'm just like anti-Sony or I hate every brand. You know, the typical like clown rhetoric that runs around. And it really gets on my nerves because it's like, you guys don't understand. I am rooting for all of these brands to succeed because then I win as a consumer and I have pick of the litter. And I don't like not having those choices. And so naturally, seeing how Sony has gotten lazy, it just really frustrates me. But yeah, that's basically where we're at now. Kid says, I would definitely walk around with a t-shirt you made, he said, or donations. I definitely appreciate that. That'd be pretty cool. I still don't have the ability to pull off a t-shirt right now. I don't know, man. Maybe something to look into. I'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll think it over. I don't know. It's been on the radar for a while, though. I don't know. People have been asking for it, so maybe it's something everybody wants. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know. It's hard for me to picture making a t-shirt, you know? All right, so Gravity Crush, what's up? You said, hey, QTV, did you ever watch Yasuke, and what did you think after watching it? I never watched it. I've always had an opinion about it, and I still have an opinion about it. So-called spoilers. Everything I've seen from that show is garbage. Literally garbage. Like, I would never... It's like an embarrassment to the actual name of Yasuke, the historical figure that it was. Yes, it's not historically accurate, but it's basically the creator of Boondocks, or the guy that worked and created the character design for Boondocks, making a show, and my oh my, the same racial stereotypes follow through into his portrayal of Yasuke. So, I'm not shocked. I'm not blown away, but at the end of the day, I call it what it is. Of course, some people had opinions about that, which nobody asked them, right? Like, I don't care. You don't like that I don't agree with the way he portrayed a historical figure. I mean, like, because, well, let's just hear the story, right? You're an African guy. You were in Italy first, and then you went and served under a daimyo. You're supposed to be like the right-hand man of this top elite guy, right? And they give you a southern black accent that only existed because of slavery in the South? Let's read this. You're an African, though. In Africa. Why did they... All the African actors they could have brought in on that project, and this is what they give us? So, yeah. And then that, along with the music score that I heard, even after the trap music in the trailer, It's like Afro Samurai meets the Boondocks. It's disgusting. It's fairy tale garbage, and I got nothing to say with it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't support it at all, and I never will. I'll watch the Boondocks because when I go there, I'm expecting stereotypes. That's fine. It's funny. It's the time and place. But if you're going to portray somebody's historical character that way, well, kick rocks, pound salt. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I feel about Yasuke. But again, if I don't stop now, I'll be ranting all night about that. You know, that's just how it is. All right, Josh, what's going on? You said, I wish the UHD was mini LED. I don't know that I would wish that upon the UHG. I think mini LED is more of a hindrance than a benefit because those zones are so clustered together so tightly, you find more blooming and more noticeable blooming in a lot of areas. And I think that is what's hurting the QN90A, QN85A, TCL with their R635. Mini LED has not proven to be anything worth writing home about in my experience with it. I actually expected more from it than what I saw, and honestly, pretty darn disappointed. So, yeah, no, I don't really wish for mini LED anymore. Now I just I'm hip to the game, right? I'm just like, oh, so that's your big move. Cool. So what's going on, T Beckett? You said hope the X95J delivers. Hell, I hope so. That way we can kind of silence some of these clowns that are like, all Quantum does is bash every TV, because it's like, no, I don't bash every TV. I pick a winner every year, and this year's no different. There'll be a winner, but a rightful winner. We're not just gonna shower things with praise because that's just what every other YouTuber is doing. Bro, you have no idea. I hear so many people say the funniest line to me every time I read these comments, right? They go, oh, all the other YouTubers can't be wrong, but you came to me. So watch their opinion, get what they say, take what I say, and take it with a grain of salt if you must. But I tell you, you know, for all the people that say every other YouTuber can't be wrong, no other YouTuber goes as in-depth to prove as much as I do either, though. Facts. No other YouTuber has been able to come out and rebuttal what I've said in my last video where I was talking about how all the picture quality that you're going to see is going to be the cool blue washed out tint. Can't nobody refute that or rebuttal that because it's true. They're in the game like I'm in the game, and I know what the game is, and I know how not to weaponize it, right? I know how to blow the whistle on people. And of course, that's not popular out here. Nobody's gonna like me for doing that. I mean, hell, I saw the little clown piece some of you guys sent me in the email of the Jester G4K guy. Everybody's favorite clown, right? Dude literally is on my channel watching my video talking about, I don't know what he's on about, don't watch this guy. Hypocrite much, though, because you're watching me, though. How would you be watching my Hisense review if you don't watch me? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, make it make sense. At every turn, I know these guys watch me, even when they don't mean to give themselves away. And it's just like, if you're going to watch me, you're going to swagger jack, you're going to steal my vibe, you're going to lie, you're going to propagate, or even let's say you want to paint me as a clown. That's fine, but prove it. I would love to be proven to be this so-called clown, dude, because I provide facts. And A90J had bad motion and proved it on video. It's in video, you can find it, right? That's just clown shit, because it's not. And that's where I get annoyed. So I truly hope the Sony X90J delivers so that those people can finally shut the F up. You know what I mean? Because, Jesus Christ, it's just sad at this point. It really is. But again, I digress, don't want to rant too much. What's going on, Rick Jamison? You said, is the Hisense U6G worth it? My friend keeps asking. Honestly, man, I don't know. I've never seen it, so I wouldn't just sign off on something without seeing it myself. What's going on, Crash? What's happening, man? You said, hey, Quantum, it's been a while since your last live stream. Nice to see you back again. Yeah, man, it's been a while, man. I swear to God, dude, you are like one of the oldest subscribers that I have, and that I like every time your account comes up, I actively remember you've been here a while. And I mean back to the good old days, you know? So I remember like some of you guys from back then, man. And it's cool to see some of my long-term subscribers like that. So yeah, man, I'm glad to finally be doing one of these. I just literally whimsically just got up and I was like, you know what I haven't done in a while? A live stream. Why not? And so yeah, it's good to see you, man. Josh, what's going on, man? You said low-key, you're the biggest TV channel, the biggest TV tech channel. Yeah, it's pretty low-key at this point. I mean, 1,100 plus videos that we put out, always being honest, and we're definitely making moves out here, to say the very least. And I might not have as much in the way of subscribers as everybody else, because let's be honest, people don't like being told the truth, but they want to know. right? They're gonna click anyway. They want to know if I'm telling them the truth. And of course, there's always that one guy that gets ultra triggered in his feelings, right? And he starts researching everything I'm saying. Does Sony have bad judder? Oh, our teams didn't say. Oh wait, what? Well, now wait a minute. What is this about the brightness looking exactly like the C8? Wait a minute. Now hold on. Quantum said that. Oh, I can't admit that Quantum was ever right about anything. God, hell would have to freeze over for that. You know, and you know, so yeah, low key, I'm definitely one of the biggest TV channels that we have out here for sure. I mean, I've been doing it long enough, so I'm glad that some of you guys out here kind of already know that. You know, do the little tip of the hat, you know, and we just keep it pushing, you know what I mean? What's going on, Chin? You said, I wait to update the Sony X930E until Sony fix 4K 120 FPS with Dolby Vision at the same time. I don't think the Sony X930E will ever get 4K 120. Sony can't even be bothered to get VRR, so that at this point is probably a pipe dream. Not gonna lie to you, man. Joshua, you said, yes, you're talking to Brian. What's going on, Kid? You said, thank you for answering all of our questions. Very informative, and I'm loving the topics you're hitting. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You've been very active in the community lately yourself, Kid. I appreciate all your support. I see you down there, man, showing up for the fam. Most definitely appreciate it, bro. Gravity, what's going on? You said LMAO, I agree. We have Josh, you said, I heard Sony is bringing VRR this September, supposedly. You know, I heard a similar rumor about the Sony X900H a while ago, too. So until they deliver, I'm going to be mean as hell to Sony, because I'm feeling the type of way that they could dupe an entire demographic of consumer, never give them what they advertise, and then walk away with zero legal ramifications for literally false advertising. I take offense to that, I really do. And you know, now, all you watching, like all 56 of you watching right now, listen to this and it's going to make a lot of sense, right? You think I'm being harsh, but imagine it like this. Could you imagine being a Sony CEO right now, or a head executive? They're probably having a... All we have to do is get them to complain a little, because they're going to buy it anyway, right? We can do whatever we want. We can come out with shoddy products, we can do whatever, but the name Sony is so big, people trust it. We have our things in our back pocket. We have Digital Trends in our back pocket, Linus Tech Tips. Whoever we need, we can buy. Whoever else we don't, we can just pay what we have to throttle them, and they'll never be seen on YouTube, because don't believe it, don't go that deep, right? It's not even that deep, really, when you think about it. But anyway, okay, so they know all most consumers are going to do is complain after buying a product, being frustrated, go to customer service maybe, return it. But what repercussion is it for them if they literally just sold you something that they fraudulently advertised? None. There's literally zero repercussion whatsoever. And it's so funny because you see all these lawsuits come out, class action lawsuits for them doing this or doing that, and it's just like people don't catch on that these so-called reputable brands have all been in legal trouble for defrauding their consumers. Every one of them. Name one that hasn't been. And it's just kind of like, you know, people talk a lot of crap now because Hisense is the first brand I've worked with, because they reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want a brutally honest review from the #1 brand in honesty. And I was like, okay, I dig it. No scripts, no briefings, no forcing me to say anything, because I don't roll that way. But hey, you want a brutally honest review? Send the product over, I'll check it out. I'll really give it an in and out, and guess what? I gave it the in and out, and I like it. I think it's a good product after going through the tests. But you know, people like Sony, they won't do that. They won't stand behind their brand because they can't. Because the truth is, they are ripping things out every year. They are slowing down performance. They are under-delivering to the competitors, compared to the competitors. And it makes it really hard for consumers to justify spending a TV. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Kid for your donation of $5. He said, keep doing what you're doing. Your donation helps make a lot of that possible, man. So I definitely appreciate it. Good looking out, brother. I see you, man. I appreciate it. But you guys know what I mean. Like, all these corporate executives are really playing a game. Ask yourself a question. Like, for everybody that like feels or have felt, like I'm sure many of you watching this video right now, right, have at some point probably felt, damn, man, Quantum is cool and everything, but the dude is pretty negative sometimes. If you've ever felt that way, think about why I have to be that way. Imagine how much bias there is for every brand you watch. There's an overwhelming amount of positivity. They're almost neutral to a disgusting degree to make you believe that there genuinely is nothing wrong with it. So much so that you're almost surprised and you have to find out all the flaws yourself. And then by the time that happens, you either have to take it back to the store or just kind of take that L and accept, they got me. All right, I'm not going to look it back to the store. It's too much of a pain in the ass to do that. That's what they want from you. So naturally, I come at it with such an aggression because I used to be one of those people getting duped left and right. And seeing the game, like having been in YouTube for so long and seeing literally the game that people play, I'm not okay with it. And I'm not just gonna sit on my hands like, yeah, you can con people for a living. It's like, you can, but don't expect me not to say anything about it, make you look bad for it. And of course, then they have to start with the quantum clown rhetoric. Why does this guy hide his face behind a mask? You want the easy answer? The same reason majority of people on social media have fake profile pictures and names. Privacy. It's common sense. But of course, when somebody wants to debunk you, they have blue hair arguments. You know what I mean? You ask them one thing and they just, I can't do this with you right now. No. Give me the facts. Where have I misled you? Just give me an example. They have none. And that's just what it is. Especially when we start talking about recent things that have transpired. So yeah, most definitely, bro. It's all just funny. I find myself going down these tangents sometimes, just kind of thinking about the way that the status of the consumer market is. So you'll have to forgive me if I tend to rant a little bit, but oh man, it gets pretty annoying sometimes. But moving on with the questions, we have Kid, you said, haha, facts, bro. You said, be cocky when you have it to back it up. You said, why I love you, bro. Yeah, man, I mean, you ever notice, like, when we were growing up, like, I imagine, because I look at the demographics for my audience on YouTube, the average age group for my channel is, like, 24 to 35, right? I mean, we all basically grew up more or less around the same generation, right? When did people start getting so soft that you can't literally be confident when you know you're good at your job, right? When you know you've got it, right? I'm not going to be humble about something that I know I'm good at because I've worked to be good at it. So I'm not going to sit here and walk on eggshells and be like, well, no, they're just starting out. Everybody starts somewhere. If he's starting out, then he needs to, I don't know, hold his head down and act like a choir girl and not act like he knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And when people want to start beating their chest and act like alpha dogs and act like they really know what they're doing in the space and then literally show up with the most blue, dead, washed out, ugly image quality I've ever seen, never put out TV settings because they know that would expose them. It's just like, come on, dude. You're seeing it time after time again. For all the years, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off with this one, by the way. After all the years of people watching HD TV tests and digital trends, how many of them have put out actual picture settings that blew your socks off? 0 of them. Because they can't. And I've been saying it for years. Now, the real ones that rock with me, y'all know. Y'all know what it is. But for everybody else, they kind of be like, oh, there goes Quantum again, being cocky, being mean. No. It's a fact. If HDTV Test puts out settings, I will plug those bitches in day 1. Day 1 and try them out. And I'll compare them against mine. I won't give out his values. I don't have to do any of that. I'll let the pictures speak for themselves. That's how it is. And if you want to see the settings, or he wanted to see the settings side by side, bro, I would have so much fun with that. Oh my god, I'd be like a kid in a candy store. And they know never to mess up like that. They know, don't ever let me catch you lacking in 4K, dude. Don't let me catch you. Because I'm going to call you on it. It's going to make you look so bad. But that's, you know what it is, though. So I have fun with it, man. I really do. So yeah, kid. You got to be cocky with it, man. Because at the end of the day, the nice guys finish last. I've been out here being nice to so many people for so many years. And for what? You're still going to get disrespected and called out of your name. People are going to come after your family, personal attacks. I mean, I could list the crazy stuff that happens when you start calling attention to what happens in the AV community. And people think like, oh, there's YouTube beef over TVs. No, it goes deeper than that. People really take this personally, like sport fans, when you start disrespecting their team. You're attacking a camp of people, man. The Sony camp, the LG camp, the Samsung camp. They're coming for you, dude. And they're coming for you in earnest, so you better be ready for it. And that's what I don't think a lot of people realize. See, if you're just watching my videos, you know, because you're looking up a TV, to you, it's just, I was looking for a TV and I got all this drama, goddamn. But to me, I'm in this. I know this is something I'm actively doing, so I know how deep it goes. It goes into it, and so yeah, I don't do the whole humble thing. Absolutely not. When I'm good at my craft, I'm good at my craft. Besides, think about it like this. If you went to a doctor and you asked him, will I survive the surgery? And they're like, well, I don't know. I'm going to do my best. I think we try in these situations. Absolutely not. You don't want no shy choir girl. You want somebody that owns their space and they say, absolutely. I've never failed a surgery once in all my years, knock on wood. You know what I mean? You want somebody to own their shit. So, you know, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm good at my craft, and I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm not. So, yeah, most definitely, kid. Definitely going to own it. What's going on, Pedro? You said 4K Blu-ray recommended. Is it a Blu-ray like a movie? Like you're asking what movie? Or you're asking like the player. I don't know. Let me know. Brian, what's going on? You said, Joshua, yes, something about AV receiver. And we have Yojo. You said, clicked on a Jolister video he posted today, saw he called you a clown, and clicked the on the X. That's so funny right after. I mean, it's like, I saw that video only because I had somebody link it to me. I mean, I only watched like maybe 7 seconds, and most of it was just him literally just trying to fluff up one guy, talk about me, and kind of make me seem like a clown. And it's just kind of like, okay, you can do that if you want to be nasty. Technically, Jolister, if you're watching this video, technically what you did was not a transformative piece, and if I were you, I would trim out that segment because maybe a copyright infringement claim could come your way. Just saying, bud. If you want to be nasty, be nasty. I'll show you what it's like to play a nasty game, you know? Because I know about the kind of characteristics of fair use and how you can get away with certain things. And under the fourth characteristic of fair use, that's where you messed up. But, you know, you can not take it seriously and, you know, do your thing. You can try to be a better puppy, you know? I don't know. Do what you want, bro. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I saw that too, bro, and honestly, I'm not even going to pay it any attention, man, outside of the little attention I gave it. Because at the end of the day, there's always somebody that's gonna cry and say, hey, oh, Quantum, you're a clown, as they sit on your shit. It's just kind of like, make it make sense, bro. If I'm so much of a clown, why are you wasting any time on me? You know what I'm saying? So what's going on? Josh, you said, that's right, they're watching you. Tell them haters, you can't, you can be anywhere in the world, but here right with me. He said, Quantum TV gang. Hey, you already know, man. It is what it is. Chris, what's going on, man? You said, I love how some other AV channels are starting to do what you do. Of course, not as good as you do. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've noticed that too. A lot of them really do swagger jack, and that's fine. I mean, it's honestly flattery for me. I just think it's funny that other people are noticing that other AV channels are literally copying a lot of the stuff that I've done and do on a regular basis and have for years. And they're just gonna literally tongue-in-cheek it like they're not doing that at all. Like, this guy's crazy. Nobody's copying him. Look at the arrogant guy. It's like, actually, if you trace back to like 2 years ago, I was already going that, bud. So yeah, you know, for me, it's a lot of fun. We've got Crash. What's going on? You said, did you know Sony actually released Android 9.0 for the X900E and the X930E in the Middle East, but I didn't update it because I'm afraid they'll rip out something in my new TV. I don't know if they'll rip out something, but I tell you, man, like the last time I updated my Sony X930E, when I had that black flashing issue I did a video on. That was not it, and it was totally garbage. So yeah, I would never update those TVs. My 900E literally lives offline because I'm literally petrified at the fact of something being wrong with it or them damaging it, and I've just destroyed this legend of a TV. I'm sure they'd love me to mess up like that and put it online, but it ain't ever gonna happen. We have something. I'm not gonna mess it up. I'm just gonna read what you said here. You said, would love to see you collab on some of the live streams with the other reviewers. Do your perspective will add some depth. New sub, by the way. Oh, nice to see you, man. Thanks for subscribing and being a part of the community here, man. As far as collabing with other YouTubers, I'm not opposed to it. I actually like smaller YouTubers particularly. Some might find this hard to believe, but there was a point where I reached out to FOMO. I wanted to work with him. But, you know, it's when he lied about the 900F, it was the Hisense H9F. And he lied about the result. At first, he gave it a glowing review, turned around and said, it's complete and total garbage because my camera settings were wrong. And I'm like, funny thing that you were in person, yes? Okay, you did the review in person. So how did your in-person results change because your camera got something wrong? He never, to this day, rebutted or had a reasonable answer for that. That's when I stopped fucking with him. Because I knew he was just bullshitting at that point. And it's just like, if you're gonna play games, well... And then, I mean, I could go down the list of every single one. You know who I really like? And this is going to surprise a lot of people. There are actually AV YouTubers I like. Like Paul, the tech giant. I got nothing but respect for that dude. He goes out there, he does his stuff, and he's honest about it. He's not shilling about it. When he gets a TV from Box.uk, that's fine, but he does his job. He's good at what he does. And I have nothing but respect for the dude because he's on his game. He responds to the community he has. He doesn't ignore people like some of these other people. You know, there's Telly Dan out there unboxing TVs. He's like the unbox king, in my opinion. I think he's great. You know, there are a couple YouTubers out there in this particular niche I do like. Now, as far as some of the other ones that are around my same subscriber level, I wish I could say the same thing. I don't like the Villa Man at all. I don't like Jolister at all. Don't like Be the Installer at all. They did that themselves. And honestly, it's like watching what they say and how they carry themselves and with whom they carry themselves around is a turnoff as somebody who literally knows what these people are like in the community. You know, that's old saying, who you associate yourself with is who you become. So naturally, I distance myself from all the bad apples. That's just how I am, though. But yeah, I would like to do collabs. It'd be nice, I guess, to maybe talk to some of these people right until the point where we start having a disagreement. Because I realize, like, if I start having a disagreement with, let's say, for example, most recently, somebody who's throwing shade out there, Jolister, for example, right? Let's say I have a disagreement with him. What expertise does he have to fall back on and have a technical conversation with me? None. He's a guy whipping TVs out of a box and doing comparisons. The same can be said about the vast majority. Like, we can't really go into it, right? Like, what can you really say to me right now? Like, the motion is good because what? You think it's good? Not because, like, when we look at things and how they're represented realistically in the world, they're actually one way versus what you think is accurate. And you could go into these arguments all day, you know what I mean? So, while it would be nice to collab and maybe have conversations, I'm good with a lot of it. I am okay, just doing my thing, you know. If there's somebody cool, then I'll be cool with them. But for the most part, a lot of these guys are sticks in the mud. Brian, what's going on? That was for Josh. Never mind. And then we've got, and that's another thing. Sometimes some comments get held, so I have to show this comment from Josh. You said they control the PS5 production as well. Those bastards at Sony. Yeah, I'm noticing that there is a fake supply and demand happening right now. Everybody's creating a shortage for something. Oh, there's a global change shortage. There's a global silicone shortage. There's a global chip shortage. You want to have a global bread shortage next? I mean, we already did the toilet paper thing. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's out of control. Most definitely, my friends. So, yeah. I think it's just a way of driving up those numbers because they know if nobody can buy them, more people are going to want them and then pay these outrageous prices. I feel like, and you might think I'm crazy when I say this, and I really don't care. I truly feel like Sony, Nvidia, all these like Xbox, like Microsoft, I feel like they're staging scalpers and bots. Because you're not going to tell me you run this website and you can't create a firewall or even a restriction that cuts off similar cards or similar bots from duplicating purchases. I mean, come on, man. You have Best Buy that can shadow ban people, right? But you can't stop scalpers and bots? Like, I think they don't want to, right? And that's just really what it comes down to. You're not going to tell me, like, Best Buy gets inventory, everybody gets inventory, and the day they get it, the second they get it, wiped out by scalpers and bots. I think this is a very controlled, staged event to drive up demand, if you know what I'm saying. Now, again, that could just be my aluminum foil hat theory, but I tell you what, it is what it is. Now, let's go on to talk about some more stuff that we have in the comments section down here. Maybe you guys got some good stuff here. We've got Jason. You said they call it toxic masculinity when anyone is confident. Oh my god, bro. I swear to god, I'm gonna get fucking terminated if you get me on this topic. Don't get me on that topic, bro. Don't. I am tired of that phrase. You know what I mean? Like, everything you do. I sneeze and I have too much bass in my voice. I'm sorry, are you mansplaining on me? It's like, stop, dude, I just sneezed. I'm not doing anything. Can't be yourself anymore because it's offensive to somebody. Period. It doesn't matter what you do. You say, I like playing fighting games. Okay, why do you like playing fighting games? Why don't you want a female heroine? It's like, I actually like Tomb Raider. Can you not? These are the times we live in. And dude, everybody wants to be a social justice warrior and stand up and be bold and brave in the worst ways possible. But we don't see them taking the stance with things like animal cruelty or with personal habits that maybe are bad that they should stop doing, like cutting people off in traffic, creating accidents, things like that. Nobody wants to be a social justice warrior, right, for all the accident deaths, or, you know, the number one killer right now, right, is heart disease. Nobody wants to be a social justice warrior for healthier diets, right? Nobody cares. But when it's dumb shit, right, that is, like, usually really personal, right, everybody has an opinion about it. I just, bro, just don't even get me on that topic. I would go literally all night. That is what I call an IRL conversation. Because I cannot have it online, because Lord knows there's not a single tech company that would allow you to have that conversation online. So I'm just going to walk away from it, but doing so with a tip of the hat. Now, let's talk about recently got 77-inch. You got a 77-inch and you were asking if anyone knows how to tweak the 77-inch C10. I don't think the C10 would be any different from a regular C10. I mean, it's just my guess there. I think you go about it the same way, man. What's going on, Chris? You said, heard LG gets 800, the LG GO gets 870 nits in vivid mode. I've been seeing a lot of numbers from LG, and none of them are really impressive. I mean, honestly, when we talk about Evo, what really is making it Evo this year, they're going to have to do a lot of convincing, because it's not working on me. I can go back and see what the C10 was reading, or the C8 was reading back in 2018. Apparently, people forgot about those numbers altogether, and now they're like, oh my god, something new to buy. It's like, that doesn't work on me at all. We got CS here. You said, I want to buy a good TV for gaming and movies without breaking the bank. Nah, I think a good place to start is the Hisense H9G. That's an excellent start. $699 is the entry price for that, and you get an excellent TV. Or you can start with something like maybe the TCLR 635, or wait for some of the newer options. That would get you going without breaking the bank right now. We've got it's not worth it. Keep doing you. Always keep doing me. Somebody said thoughts on B the installer. I mean, my thoughts are meh. I think he's ruining his channel, personally, if you want my opinion. I think the collaborations are cheesy. You can do your own content. You don't need to feed off of other YouTubers to do that, especially the worst of the worst. Really don't need to do that. And I think, honestly, when you talk about B the installer, it's just like, he's just a guy. He strikes me as just somebody's dad that does installation work that decided to pick up a camera and become a YouTuber, if I'm being very honest. It doesn't strike me as somebody that actually knows what he's talking about. And then I watch his comparisons. All of his TVs are basically in the vivid mode or the torch mode or the really blue under-calibrated modes. There's no calibration happening on any of his TVs, and that basically confirms what I know. So it's just kind of like, meh. It's a big meh. I don't really care for him. I just don't. And, you know, I actually tried to reach out to be the installer and to tell him, hey, you know, maybe don't go with Techno Dad, because some of you that may remember, I exposed Techno Dad a while ago for literally talking about how he wanted to be a shill and say that, oh, I didn't claim to not want to be a sponsored guy. Like, it was this whole stupid thing. And it's just kind of like, but you literally are trying to get product managers to help you shill for stuff. It makes no sense. And so, of course, there was a problem with that. And then you guys already heard my issue with FOMO and his lie for no apparent reason. And then, of course, there's the magic subscribers that keep flying onto his account overnight. 200,000 people. It's the weirdest. I swear to God, we make a joke in my inner circle about FOMO's channel being Michigan, right? And just overnight, he got those mail-in subscribers, I tell you what, because all the other YouTubers say what I want about them, but Jolister, the Villa Man, all these other guys have actually been out here working to try to grind up their spot. I mean, I can say that people have been putting in some years and some time into it. FOMO's put in no time, and he's surpassing everyone. He's Michigan. That's all I'll say. Now, moving on. I'm about to make myself die. Alright, we got, UAG or A80J. A80J if you're somebody that cares about black levels, if you're somebody that cares about viewing angles, if you're somebody that wants to be able to force HDR and SDR to be creative with the calibrations, you want direct access to things like Adobe RGB and other color spaces, but the U8G for basically everything else. That's how I would say that. What's going on, Bill? You said also the shortage is a way to stop the cost of production from going up or down on sale anytime soon. I actually had no plans on getting next-gen consoles on my... next-gen consoles. I want an Xbox Series X and got no care. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way, if I'm being honest with you. It's like after I kind of like bought a pre-built PC and then built onto it, right? I'm pretty good with my rig for PC for basically everything. I don't need more than 1440 60p. That's what I like to game at. And my TV's any HDMI 2.0 TV gives me that. So I'm not really like jumping up and down for the next latest and greatest. I really don't care, right? I'm like, do what you do, man. Like, if you guys want VRR, go get it. I mean, being PC really gives me such an advantage because I can see things like VSync and how I prefer that to, you know, regular forms of variable refresh rates and things like that. But again, it's just a prerogative, right? And I never really cared much for the uncapped frame rates, and being on PC, I see that because, like, 1 minute I'm going and I'm like, wow, this is 70 FPS, it's amazing, and then you tank so fast and you're like, gotcha, so this is what it feels like to be dragging molasses in the snow. So yeah, it's not fun. But yeah, most definitely hear you on that, man. Josh, what's going on? You said, honestly, they need to apologize to you if they want to collab with you, not another way around. I mean, I don't expect anybody to apologize to me. I feel like, honestly, no matter what my opinions on any AV YouTuber, I think they're completely justified to run their channel however they want. Their job is simple. They have to make you believe in them. They have to be relatable enough to make you like them and seem like everyday guys. Because they're everyday guys without a profession, it's really easy, at least a technical profession, I should say, because they all have jobs, I'm sure. It makes it really easy for them to step in and be a bro to you, right? And who doesn't like a bro, right? Come on, subscribe to me, I'm your bro. Like, it's a very easy game and business model to understand, right? I get it. I know. But at the same time, it's like, I don't expect them to apologize for gaming the system or whatever else they do. But at the same time, they can't possibly expect a guy like me to just kind of like be like, well, I guess that's it. They're just gonna do what they do. I'm just over here like, hey, you guys exist, but then so do I. I will be the #1 brand in honesty with or without anyone's permission. Period. I'm not asking for any permission or apologies for it. Both ways. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I think honestly, frankly, and when we talk about other YouTubers as well, I think they frankly don't care about a collaboration with me. I think, if I'm being very honest with you, they all literally have a grandiose opinion of themselves. They all think very highly of themselves because maybe they picked up a few thousand subscribers in a week or a month, or maybe they're seeing growth, their channel's doing whatever makes them happy, right? That's great. But what they don't understand is somebody like me who's been in this a lot longer and knows a lot more about what I'm talking about can always run loops around them regardless of where I'm at. I mean, I was running loops literally around Artings when I was only at 4,000 subscribers. So I was taking them on back then. I've never really shied away from anybody because of the subscriber count. And I think everybody's mistake is thinking like Quantum cares about like social proof. I don't really care if I had like 200 subscribers. If I'm right, I'm right. And I love going to independent guys, and I love watching guys that are just starting out 665 subscribers, 700 subscribers, and I'll listen to what they have to say, because 9 times out of 10, some of them really do have some pretty good insight to share. It's usually when you start dealing with the bigger guys, that's when you start running into a lot more fluff pieces, just floating the narrative that they know is safe. You've heard it before, so you won't question it. That's the game. If nobody told you, now I tell you. So yeah, I don't expect them to apologize for it. Now, we've got Anthony asking the H9G over the U7G, or are they nearly the same? That I don't actually know. I have to see the U7G to give you an answer. I think they'd be pretty similar, but I have no clue right now. What's going on? I'm not even gonna butcher your name. I'm just gonna say it. Say what you wrote here. You said picked up that Sony X11ES 4K Blu-ray player, and you said at a pawn shop? Damn, for 150 bucks, no less. Ridiculous picture. Yeah, that's one hell of a find, man. Congratulations. I'd be freaking happy if I got a steal like that. Resistant one, you said, do you have any insight for the U7G? Not yet. You said really want a 75-inch. It really sucks. Yeah, I'll be reviewing the U7G when I can. But right now I don't have anything on it right now as far as like if I think it's great or not, because I haven't seen it yet. Crash says, I noticed that it's hard to get good skin tones when using BT 2020. Yes, it looks good and vibrant, but skin tones are way off. I'm having a hard time working with this color space. Any recommendations? The first thing to understand about the BT 2020 color space is that because it's so wide, it's always going to oversaturate every color. For whatever reason, the most immediate color it oversaturates is red. You can fix this in one of two ways. You can turn down the overall saturation, or you can, if you have it, go into the per color adjustment, and you can turn down the color red. You can add different hues to the red, and then you can balance it out with your white balance. You might even have to throw out an accurate white balance altogether just to get what you know visually to your eye is an actually good looking picture. So there are some techniques you can do some workarounds, but it is a hard color space to work with. You will need a decent amount of experience to dial it in correctly, but those are my top recommendations to start with. What's going on, Yojo? You said 65-inch CX on sale for $18.50, or spend the extra money on the C1. Get the C10, man. The C1, while it's great and I really like it, honestly speaking, not having that HDR effect holds it back, and that's something I still felt really sour about. Now, if you don't really care because you don't really use modes like that, then maybe an argument opens up for spending the extra money on the C1. But the C10 does have a bit more in the way of proper luminance placement. It looks really good where it's placed. Though I'm not gonna lie, the clarity on the C1 is exceptional, the motion is exceptional, and those two alone are like game changers from the C10. So it's really hard, man. I really can't. I can't say. It just really depends on what you're looking for. Acer X35 or LG CX gaming monitor, or computer / gaming monitor. C10. That was very easy for me. I wouldn't even give it a second thought, to be honest with you. And that's honestly what I would personally do. Just dropping by to say thanks for your channel. Best AV channel around. Keep it up. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for that. Marco, what's going on? You said, yo, Quantum, using your last config for the KS 8500 looks gorgeous. You said, I think now I can wait a few more before getting the C1. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you right now, when I saw my last configurations that I made for the KS8000, bro, like, that TV really surprised me. You know, I haven't been pulling it out for comparison, truly, because I've got it hooked up and everything, but I really need to start comparing it to some of these TVs again. You would be surprised that that 2016 TV is still hitting real hard in 2021. And nobody's ready to hear that either. Because, you know, like, the big thing with the TV reviews thing is, like, everyone's a revolving door, right? Buy TV, sell TV. If you don't sell TV, return TV. Like, that's the game, right? And it's just kind of like, it gets annoying after a while, but nobody really holds on to their TVs like I do. Like, goddamn, dude, I have so many. It's a problem. It's like, TVs for sale, Facebook Marketplace, hello, how much you want? Okay, I'll give it to you for a deal. Whatever. Just to get rid of it, because sometimes I just have way too many TVs. So, yeah, dude, like, it's, believe me when I tell you, I know what you mean, man. And bro, the KS series of television is like legendary Samsung status. Honestly, at this point, I don't even think Samsung could ever hit that tier again. They did everything right with the luxury aspect and visually. Like, I just don't see Samsung returning to that, because nobody's like me, right? Nobody's standing up and throwing a tantrum for the things we lost. And the luxury, the true, like, dude, go look at the KS8000, man. That shit was, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Chrome everywhere. The logo illumination feature when you turn on your remote make you feel like $1,000,000. The triple black technology, like, everything they did in it, like, was just so good. And man, I still love that TV. It's one of the best TVs, truly. I really do. Even with some of its problems, I still love the TV. What's going on, Just? You said, I got my 65 C10 for $850. That's a damn steal. He said on offer up 2 weeks ago. Nothing beats that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, $850 is, I think, the best deal you'll ever get in your life on a luxury 65-inch OLED, for sure. So yeah, congratulations on that, for sure. Regardless of the price, what is the best overall TV that you've seen this year? Let's see. Out of everything I've seen, the TV that really captivates me so far this year, I'm gonna have to give the win to the LG C1. I really like the picture on the LG C1, like, a lot. I think it did a good job with clarity, and motion really took my breath away. And HDR was the best I've ever seen. I mean, it was something else with the luminosity placement. It didn't try to overpower you with the brightness, but at the same time it came down and it gave you everything from the clarity perspective and depth perspective that you would look for in HDR. It was a joy. I really did like it. I just hate that I couldn't use it for PS5, or rather PS4, and have all the settings that I want available and unlocked. Everything was grayed out. That ruined it for me. It really did, because that's exactly how I was going to use it. So for me, it was just kind of like, well, I can't use that. And then I was willing to compromise and say, all right, I'll go maybe G-Sync and I'll use my PC for that, and that was really dim, and that just ruined it for me. And at that point I was just like, alright, this isn't gonna work, but I still think it's a great TV. The only reason why I would say something like, by the way, the Sony A90J didn't win is because of the motion. It was legendarily bad. It was like, for those that think I'm joking, like, think back to the Sony X940E if you've ever seen it. It was bad like that. Like, you know, it's not the strongest for motion, and Sony does that on all of their flagship TVs these days. I don't know what the game is, but I'm not digging it. But the picture on the Sony A90J was undeniable, for sure. It was gorgeous, but what's the point of a beautiful picture when the moment it moves, it's ugly? I don't know. Some people have opinions about that, but that's just me. I don't know. I can't. And then, of course, all the other issues that I've mentioned 100 times over, and will continue to do so to continue to provide balance, because Lord knows everybody is just going to keep talking about how great it is. But yeah, man, I think the C1 this year so far is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, I've seen at the OLED level, and then at the LED level, hands down, the Hisense UHG takes the cake for sure. You're not finding, and I mean, I'm talking QN90A, QN85A, Sony X90J. Like, out of all that I've seen, that Hisense really slapped all those LEDs to the floor. So yeah, those would probably be the two picks for LED and OLED. A bit off topic. Do you have any good information on how to land a PS5? You're not going to like my information, but I'll tell you anyway. Don't buy it. Wait, and wait out the storm. One day, when nobody cares about it, or they make a mid-cycle refresh, the prices will come down. And everybody that paid $1,000, $800 will feel so stupid, realizing just how valueless these kind of consoles really are. That's just what I'll say there. Other than that, no, I don't have any tips for you, because I'm not about to pay triple of what something is worth. You know, you have disc consoles going for $3,000. You have digital consoles going for like $1,500 to $2,000. Like, it's out of control, and some people are actually paying that. And hey, if they want to go do that to be the first on YouTube with a view of this HDMI 2.1 that frankly nobody's going to use anyway, they can go do that. Because I guarantee you, bro, everybody right now that has a PS5 that bought it day one, they're already bored of their PS5. There are no games to play right now. It's been like that for months. So you just paid over $1,000 to be bored. You're right? As guys like me get to come through at the absolute last second and scoop up all the games you were thinking were going to be fun this year, because a lot of them are going to be going over to PC. The biggest thing I was really excited about is that Demon Slayer game. That's going to PC. And you already know that's where I'm going to be playing it. So, you know, that's like most of the battle right there. And then you got the multi-plat games and stuff like that they always do. I mean, really, I don't know, man. I wouldn't try to get a PS5 right now. I would wait. I mean, you can try to call around and see. Maybe your local retailers will carry it. But you'll go crazy trying to locate one of those things right now. I'm telling you right now, they're creating a fake supply and demand by making making it impossible to block scalpers and bots from being able to buy everything up. So I wouldn't waste my time. Josh says, not gonna lie, I just the 55-inch QN90A, and it's amazing for me. I love it. I got my wife the 65-inch UHG. I think the QN90A looks better for me. Hey, you know, and everybody has their own personal taste. That's also one of the things that makes this whole review process and reviewing TVs pretty difficult. Like, I may look at the blooming on the QN90A. I may look at the overly green tint on the QN90A. I look at the motion on the QN90A, and I might be like, not for me. But then you might see something else in the QN90A that, like, I don't see, that I don't value at all, right? And be like, well, in these areas it matters for me, my life, how I watch it. By all means, if it makes you happy, go for it. But I look at things in a more broad scope, like just kind of black and white. Compared to this color, is it matching that one? Compared to this motion, is it matching that one? And that's kind of how I go about it. What's going on? Josh, you said we're both gamers. Might get the C1 also on Prime for our kids. That's a hell of a TV for a kid to have. It's not a bad starting point at all. Bill, what's going on? You said, I look at these these companies like LG, Sony, Samsung. All of them have fallen off. Getting paid for being lazy and cutting corners is the new trend. Yep. And you know, it's literally like I was just telling my wife this evening. It's like, and you know, we know this as consumers. Everybody watching this live stream right now, everybody knows that the quality is falling off. But you know what most of us do? We just complain, buy it anyway, and move on with our day. Nobody ever, like, makes a real-world consequence for screwing us over. And I think once they start seeing a more collective real-world consequence, then we'll start getting what we deserve. Otherwise, they'll just keep falling off and, you know, keep pocketing the profits. Because there's no excuse this year, right? We're at the top level, really across their whole board, but even at their top level on their $3,000 Sony TV and their over $2,000 Sony or Samsung QN90A, and you know, they're overcharging us for really stripped down versions of what they did the year before, or cheaper versions in certain areas. And I think that's the part where we got to be realistic about it for sure. Johnny, you said, I have a beautiful Sony X900E with an update sitting in here for about a year. Should I do it? I wouldn't do the update at all, no. What's going on, Isaac? You said, how you doing, man? Hope the family is great. Loving my X900E still to this day. 900E, man. You were back way back when, too. I remember seeing you for a while. Yeah, I would stick with the 900E for the longest time. I would watch it burn out because it's an excellent television for sure. But yeah, man. I mean, anybody got any final questions, though, before I go spend some time with the family? Because I just want to make sure I'm rounding this out. I know I don't always do these live streams. I'm always dragging around. But yeah, essentially, guys, I'm going to be finishing up the LG A1 review cycle pretty soon. There's not really much to talk about. I mean, I've got a pretty good idea as to where it stands on the LG lineup. And I think I'll be able to give you guys a little bit more perspective on who should buy it, who shouldn't buy it, and things like that. I think going forward, I'm again, whatever you guys want to see next, just let me know so I can get it in the queue and we just start going. Because that's going to be a way that we continuously get these units in here. Shout out to John Din. I hope I said your name right. You said, my Vizio P-Series Quantum's 4K 120 input really crushes the blacks, while 4K 60 does not when I'm on the same settings. Is this common? Unfortunately, I don't have any 4K 120 Hz devices to be able to verify or replicate that. But what I can tell you is typically you're not supposed to have black crush just because you changed frame rates. That shouldn't, I mean, going from 4K 60 to 4K 120 really shouldn't cause that kind of issue. That does not sound common at all. If that's what's causing it, I would definitely reach out to maybe, I don't know, Vizio and see if there's something they could do for you. But if it's anything like the last time I tried to reach out to them, that's probably a dead end. So I don't know, man. That's a rough thing to have for sure.
Batman wins.
What you think of the U8G or the QN85? I think the U8G is hands down the better TV. Josh says, live was great, bro. Glad to have you out, man. Bill says, all the games for these new consoles are basically regurgitated enhancements. I'm bored of my Xbox Series X, and all I did was pay sales tax on it. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what they are. A lot of remastered games selling you stuff you've already played last gen. I'm seeing a lot of that happen for, you know, the PS5 or the Xbox Series X enhanced version of those games. It's like, dude, like, if you went PC, majority of what they are trying to do now wouldn't even fly, dude. Like, cause, like, you know how stupid they sound to people like me when they're just like, here's a PS5 enhanced version. I'm like, dude, I can emulate your game right now. I've got so many consoles emulated right now. I can just turn all of my existing game library into an ISO file and rock out on various emulators. I do not need you. You know, and like, that's the kind of power that PC gives you, right? And you just don't have that on console. Everything's locked down. So I completely understand. And then waiting around for exclusives and games, not my thing at all. But yeah, I see what you mean, man. We've got Punisher, Phantom Punisher. You said Q 55-inch buy now or wait 3 months. What TV for gaming and movies? It really depends on your use. You'd probably have to shoot me the details, maybe in the comments, so I can know exactly what it is. I would say, again, it really depends on usage. Marco, you said, keep going, bro. Your channel is the best TV channel on YouTube. So glad I found you a few months ago. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for that. We're going to keep it going strong. Keep doing what we always do. Be honest with those that want to hear it. And really nonchalant with the ones that don't care. Alright, so we've got Crash. You said about the motion. Did you try to set your X900E cache The 16 megabytes I tried on my X930E, better than before. You said you should try to check on your X900E to check out Fade to Black's video on it. I mean, honestly, I haven't really had a problem with the motion on my Sony X900E, so I haven't had to do any tricks or anything like that. I know the 930E had some motion problems, but I haven't had any problems to warrant me to want to do something like that. In fact, the opposite. I've been always impressed with the motion of the Sony X900E that I have. Josh, you said you're right, had my PS5 since launch, haven't really played it since. Yeah, that's one of the unfortunate things about being the first to get the console. You're always the first to wait too. I think everybody rushing to buy right now, that's what they're realizing. They're gonna be the first to wait. It's gonna be very unfortunate, but that basically concludes the fourth hot mic that we're having here. Very simple, you know, kind of laid back form. If you guys want, I'll try to do one of these next week. It really just depends on if you guys want it. Let me know in the comments down below or something like that. If majority rules in favor, then we'll see you guys next week. Otherwise, you know, whenever we have these things, right? They're very impromptu, so I appreciate all you guys for coming out. But again, if you guys have specific things you want to see or you're trying to learn about or whatever, just let me know so I can cover that stuff for you, because there's a lot of stuff and a lot of ground that I know I can't cover within this short time I have with you guys here. So, you know, just let me know what you guys are thinking and I'll see what I can do for you. All right, but that being said, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. And last question of the night, Phantom said, mostly for gaming. I think, honestly, for gaming, you kind of have a few options. You can try the LG C10 right now. It's on an excellent sale. It's probably one of the better gaming TVs you can find after all the updates. Either that, or if you're going LED, you can try the Hisense U8G. That's one of the better options you're going to have right now. And that's basically how I kind of divide everything up. But, alright guys, I want to thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Be safe and smart out there, have fun. You know, don't get any crazy car accidents, drunk driving, all that fun stuff. You know, let's just see you guys whenever. Alright, man, so that's basically it. We'll go spend some time with the family now.